There we go. Okay, Susan again. Here we are downstairs in the backyard looking at what's actually come in. And I know it sounds ridiculous, but it's amazing to me. All of the seeds sprouted. We actually have the plants that we were expecting coming in the places where we expected. And look, by the way, a violet that has come up. Mahel tells me this is all edible, which is pretty cool. The trout lettuce, the speckled lettuce, which is a kind of romaine, has come in. The peas have sprouted, if you can see that in the back. We've got the spinach has come up really well. And Mahel, you were explaining to me that it's got two different shaped leaves.
Oh yeah, the first two are the cotyledons, and that's how we identify the baby plants. Spinach is a dicot, so there's two of them. And then the mature leaves are coming in right here in the middle.
Cool.
So those are like the baby teeth, if you're going to compare them to humans.
Right, and then I think we've got some lamb's quarters, which is regarded as a weed, but is absolutely edible and is sold in the farmers markets as wild spinach for outrageous amounts of money, and appears on various restaurant menus now here in New York. And we can see that the escarole is doing really nicely. Let's take a look at the peas. Peas are coming in. And the amaranth, which is red. It's the splotches of red that you see. And I didn't see it at first. I thought the amaranth was going to take longer because I was told it likes warmer weather, but it's come in too. And here we've got the sorrel coming in very nicely. And the kale really has a nice head of leaves on it. We're going to be thinning all of this because they're way too thick, and will be in competition with each other. And the beets are coming in very, very well. I planted a variety which is as much for greens as for the actual roots. And the radishes are coming in like crazy. They're really fast growers. And the onions, you can just see them a little bit here, are starting to come in as well. Again, peas all the way in the back, and more of the lamb's quarters. And then when we look at the rest of the stuff that's been planted, the carrots are coming in as well. The little carrots and the bigger ones, just tiny little green shoots that are really a little hard to see, but they're there. We're not even going to thin them today because it's not worth it until they're a little bit bigger. And the bulbs. The bulbs have all come in. So my spring garden, flower garden, is doing really, really well with tulips, and the daffodils are showing, and the grape hyacinth in the middle, and it's all just busting out. So I guess, like the song says, spring is coming out all over.
Hey guys, this is Michal. What we're looking at is 4 rows of kale. We directly seeded them into the ground about 2.5 weeks ago. And looks like the germination rate of these is like 99%. A lot of them have sprouted. And so what we're going to need to do is we're going to need to thin them, just so the mature plants aren't in competition with each other. As you can see here, the kale is really bunched up together. The ideal distance between 2 kale plants, even for baby kale, is about 1 to 2 inches. So right now we're just going to play God. You're going to take a look at these and just start picking and choosing which ones are going to live and which ones are going to go. And since all of them seem like they're doing pretty well, it's pretty much an arbitrary decision of spacing. So as you can see, 2 to 3 inches apart, I'm going to take out all the kale plants that are in between the 2 to 3 inches,
And
just
we're
like
going to
that.
keep these little sproutlings, and I'm going to make an unbelievably delicious salad
Oh,
out
of
of them.
course. Look, and yeah, of course. And the thinning, don't think of a thinning as a waste. It's always a harvest, you know.
Yeah, so this is the spinach thinnings, and what do we have down there at the end? The lettuce.
Greens, yeah.
Right,
lettuce.
speckled lettuce. So
And it's
this
kale
is,
as well.
by the time we finish thinning out this bed, I'm going to have a very luscious salad.
Mm.
And now it's recording. I'm still trying to figure out the flip camera, but here it is, 3 hours later. It's almost noon here in Brooklyn on Sunday the 19th, and we have pretty much finished our work. And this bed that's by the back door is looking fantastic. I bought some leaf lettuce plants to intersperse with the speckled lettuce. We thinned the lettuce out. We thinned out the spinach. Let me get my shadow out of the way. We thinned out the spinach, and we thinned out the escarole, which needs a lot of space. We haven't really thinned out the amaranth. They're really, really small still. They need a lot of space too. And then we have the sorrel, which needs a lot of space, so we thinned that down a lot. And we've thinned down the kale, and we've thinned down the beets, and the radishes are nicely thinned down. What we also did was I bought a whole bunch of pea plants. We put in some onions, and we put in a whole bunch of pea plants. So we're going to have golden snap peas. We're going to have what are called telephone peas. They should get really, really tall, and they're shelling peas that are good for freezing. And then we're going to have snow peas, first crop, and then coming after that are going to be the petit pois, which are the ones that we planted from seed that came through really, really well. And I also got enthusiastic with the plants coming in, and so we have got some other stuff that we planted, and that's the broccoli, which we're putting in. The more exotic forms of broccoli, we're using this little bed to put in those plants. So it's a Romanesco and a Rosalind. Put some parsley in, and also we put in a purple broccoli, which is more like a cross between kale and broccoli. And we'll see how that comes out. And then we're going to, I think, lay off on the plants for a bit. Also cleaned up the flower bed a bunch. And well, my friends the squirrels, see these tops that have just been snapped off? That's the damn squirrels again. But the tulips are coming in really, really well. These are going to be little tulips here coming up. We've got violets, and we transplanted some violets from what is the path. And the grape hyacinths are really, really nice. The tulips, yellow and red, and some daffodils interspersed. And I planted some irises, but I don't see them yet. We'll see if they come up. And for the fall, I think what I want to do is put some of the grape hyacinth in the front here. That wasn't really the most clever place to put the grape hyacinth there. You have to get in and look at them because they're so much smaller than the tulips and the daffodils. But it's looking good. And there's Mihail, who's doing some watering on the carrots and the broccoli. And there we are. Progress report on Susan's Backyard Garden.